James Gunn explained why his 2025 Superman film dropped the legacy part of its title. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn's Superman received a title change during production, and the director finally revealed why. After Gunn and Peter Safran were appointed heads of DC Studios, they initiated a new plan to reboot the DCU. The duo introduced a whole new slate of projects in 2022, and one of the first heroes on the docket was DC's poster boy, Superman. David Corenswet was chosen to lead the film as the new Clark Kent/Superman, alongside Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. The Warner Brothers shakeup has finally hit Metropolis, and despite that Black Adam cameo, it appears that truth, justice, and a brand new way is what DC Studios has in mind. In a series of tweets, James Gunn, the new co-head of DC Studios, confirmed that a Superman film is in the works. However, his Son of Krypton won't be played by Henry Cavill, much to the actor's dismay. This bombshell wasn't the only news Gunn had to share, though. In addition to helming the new DC universe, the Guardians of the Galaxy director is also writing the reboot, and as part of this Superman news blitz, certain plot details have surfaced. In announcing that Henry Cavill won't be playing Superman in his upcoming film, James Gunn shared a few details about his Superman reboot, including that it centers on an earlier part of Superman's life. Among those on the slate is Superman. In the initial stages, our story will be focusing on an earlier part of Superman's life, so the character will not be played by Henry Cavill. Variety reported on additional plot details, such as that the Man of Steel will be a cub reporter in Metropolis and cross paths with key Superman characters, Lois Lane included. While some fans are sure to be disappointed by Cavill being recast, the good news is that James Gunn, the writer and director of Marvel's Guardians franchise and DC's Peacemaker, won't just be calling shots behind a desk. Instead, Gunn is sticking to what he knows best and writing this Superman reboot. And, if anything, that should make fans rest a little easier. Now, it's worth noting that this isn't the first time Gunn has taken on a Superman tale. He did produce 2019's Brightburn, a dark twist on the Man of Steel's origin. Given his style and track record, audiences may be in for a fresh take on the tale, but one that sticks to the heart and classic Superman story beats, a la Metropolis and Lois Lane. Lastly, since Gunn also claimed that he's been writing this film for a while, it's possible that he shares additional story details in the months to come. But in the meantime, this string of announcements confirms that DC Studios has set a new course, and it's already well underway. As if the Snyderverse couldn't get deader, James Gunn manages to do it with his newest DCU casting. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Fans of Zack Snyder's original plans for the DCU have been dead in the ground long before James Gunn joined as co-CEO of DC Studios and ushered in the DCU. It only started to become deader with every consecutive recast, the biggest being Henry Cavill's recast by David Corenswet as Superman. Before the release of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Gunn addressed Momoa's future as Aquaman and his desire to play Lobo, stating that we won't have an actor playing two different roles. He suggested that Momoa had to make a choice, and it seems he finally did. It was officially announced that Jason Momoa will play Lobo in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Deadline, which means, per Gunn's rule, Momoa can no longer return as Aquaman in the DCU. This marks the third final nail in the coffin of the Snyderverse after Henry Cavill's Superman and Ben Affleck's Batman recasts. Not to mention the unlikelihood of Gal Gadot returning as Wonder Woman. It's also possible that the DCU's new Flash won't be Barry Allen anymore but Wally West, making Ezra Miller's return as the Speedster even more unlikely after the Flash bombed with fans, critics, and at the box office. So, that's even 5 potential nails. This may have been in the works since January 2023, when Jason Momoa issued that cryptic message about his DC future during the impending reboot. He certainly seemed overjoyed with the news, and what better news than playing one of his favorite comic book characters? James Gunn's role for Lobo in Woman of Tomorrow. What's funny about Momoa joining Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow isn't just that it's another nail in a long line of nails that is the Snyderverse coffin, but that Lobo was originally intended to be a part of Tom King's Woman of Tomorrow comic from the beginning. According to Word Ballone, via comicbook.com, King initially pitched his book to be a team-up with Lobo and Supergirl but was told by his editors to take Lobo out of the story. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, began as me pitching a Lobo/Supergirl book, and it was my editor S., Brittany Holzer and Jamie Rich, who were like, no, take Lobo out and make Supergirl the Rooster Cogburn character. Lobo's role in the film adaptation of King's comic can't be the Rooster Cogburn character, since that's Supergirl's role with the Madeline Ross character being taken by Eve Ridley's Ruthie. It's more likely than not that, being a deadly bounty hunter in the comics, Lobo will be hired by Krem to fight Supergirl. In the original comic, Kara's final conflict was with the pirates Kerm has joined, who proved to be a feeble threat to her. So, having Lobo on Kerm's payroll would provide a far more deadly opposition for Supergirl in her way of Kerm. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow will be released in theaters on June 26, 2026. New photos reveal the DCU's final Justice League crossover before DC reboot. New photos reveal the DCU's final Justice League crossover before DC reboot. Is Aquaman 3 with Timothée Chalamet real or fake? Release speculation explained. Is Aquaman 3 with Timothée Chalamet real or fake? Release speculation explained. James Gunn just cast the fourth lead superhero in the new DCU. James Gunn just cast the fourth lead superhero in the new DCU. In this article, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Release date. About the author, Pierre Chanliot. Pierre Chanliot began as a news and feature writer for the Direct at the site's launch in 2020. As a longtime reader of superhero comic books, Pierre's knowledge of Marvel and DC is extensive, informing his reporting and editorial pieces regarding the MCU and DCU. Dating for senior singles. Share your feelings and emotions with someone. Sponsored, chattingplace.com. Shifting Gears Episode 2 cast. Every guest star who appears. Photos. Shifting Gears Episode 2 cast. Every guest star who appears. Photos. Where to watch Distant 2024 movie online. Where to watch Distant 2024 movie online. Meet Jang Theo from Singles Inferno. 4 things to know about Korean actor. Meet Jang Theo from Singles Inferno. 4 things to know about Korean actor. Talladega Nights 2 movie demand heats up after Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly sequel fan poster spreads online. Talladega Nights 2 movie demand heats up after Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly sequel fan poster spreads online. EXO Kitty Season 2 cast, characters, and actors, photos. EXO Kitty Season 2 cast, characters, and actors, photos. Trending. Special Forces Season 3 cast, all 16 celebrity contestants, photos. Special Forces Season 3 cast, all 16 celebrity contestants, photos. Switch 2, Nintendo misses announcement window, fans worried console will not be revealed soon. Switch 2, Nintendo misses a noun. What's funny about Momoa joining Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow isn't just that it's another nail in a long line of nails that is the Snyder